We're heading into that great time of year where games start getting some nice sized discounts. It's a good time of year to snatch up some games for much cheaper than what they normally go for. Over on the Nintendo eShop, there's a number of games on sale, and I've rounded up a nice list of games for today that I think are some of the best deals of the bunch. Let's dive into it. First up for today's video is a game collection, that is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, which, believe it or not, is getting a title update on November 19th. What this update aims to do is bring this collection in line with the other three Ace Attorney collections in terms of features and quality of life updates. This free update will add a music player, an art gallery, a scene editor, which I'm sure people will use for some comedic results, as well as improved episode and chapter selections, a story mode / visual novel mode function, as well as other neat stuffs. I've always said that for those new to the series, this collection of their first 3 games is the best way to get into the series. I mean, the 3 games here have some excellent stories and characters, as well as a good progression in terms of the gameplay. And I really like that Capcom is going back and improving the collection as a free update. I mean, we don't have to buy a new collection this time around, which is always a good thing. So if you have this collection already, then make sure to check this out later in the month. If you don't own the collection yet, the good news is it is on sale. It's just $9.99 on the eShop currently. Next year, Monster Hunter Stories 3, the next game in this series, is going to come out for the Switch 2. And I gotta say, I'm excited. From what I've seen so far from the trailers for it, the game looks pretty good. And if it's anything like the previous 2 games in the series, then I think it's a safe bet that this is going to be a good addition to the Switch 2 library. Speaking of the previous games, the collection of the first 2 games is on sale right now for 50% off, which makes the collection roughly $30 on the US eShop. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is excellent. I loved it on the Switch 1 when I played it on there. It's a really fun, monster collecting turn-based JRPG that makes some excellent use of elements of the Monster Hunter games. And it has multiplayer too. On the Switch 2, the game looks even better on there, with a locked 60 FPS from what I experienced so far from testing the game out on there. The first game in the bundle is a HD remaster of the 3DS entry, and I've heard good things about this one. For those with the Switch 2, from what I've heard, this does operate at 60 FPS as well. For those who want to pick up just one of the games, each game is on sale for roughly $20 each on the US eShop. For those with a Switch 2, the base game of Street Fighter 6 is on sale for 50% off, $20 on the US eShop. Now this edition comes without any of the DLC, so there's no Year 1 or 2 stuff, nor any extra DLC characters, so do be aware of that if you do pick this up. If you don't care about any of that stuffs, or just want a cheap way of picking the game up on the system and just playing with the base game stuffs, well then here you go. $20 is definitely not a bad way to do so. As far as the game itself plays on the system, it plays really good. I'm actually pretty impressed with how well it runs on the system. If you're curious about picking up the game, make sure to check out the demo first. There is one on the eShop. Speaking of Switch 2 stuff, the next 2 games I have to talk about today are games that are getting free Switch 2 upgrades. The first game, Dave the Diver, has a Nintendo Switch 2 edition that arrives on the eShop today. And this edition of the game features an increase to the resolution of the game, as well as a frame rate boost too. If you already have the game, then congrats! You can upgrade to the Switch 2 edition for free. But for those without the game, well, you can now have the Switch 2 edition right now at a launch sale discount of 40% off. That's pretty nice. Make sure to snag the free Dreads content pack, as well as the free Godzilla content pack too, off the eShop if you aim to pick this up. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 is getting a Switch 2 upgrade as well, and this should arrive on November 21st. The Switch 2 edition features improved textures, higher resolution quality, as well as higher frame rates, likely 60 FPS locked, as well as it features more enemies on the screen versus where it was on the Switch 1. It's good stuff here, and again, it's free for those who own the game. If you want to pick up the game for the Switch 2, then there is a sale right now for the Switch 1 version of the game until the 17th for the Deluxe edition, and this likely will be the last sale for a while, at least at this rate of a discounted price. It's approximately $15 on the US eShop. The Deluxe Edition includes the first character pass, which adds 9 new characters to the base game. For those who are interested in some good retro arcade fun, then the Capcom Arcade Stadium bundles are hard to beat, especially at $11.99 each. Each bundle has 32 Capcom arcade games within. The first bundle has classics like the Street Fighter II games, Strider, Ghosts and Goblins, and Ghouls and Ghosts, as well as the 1940s series. And the second bundle has highlights like the Darkstalker games, the Mega Man arcade games, Saturday Night Slam Masters, as well as the Street Fighter Alpha games. There's a bunch of sweet games here from the 80s and 90s era of arcades. The Plucky Squire is an action-adventure game where you play as Jot, a character who has been kicked out of his own storybook. He then sets upon a quest to save his friends, as well as to restore his book's ending. As him, you'll be jumping through various 2D and 3D worlds, as well as through various other books, solving puzzles, and completing various challenges along the way. I gotta admit, the game's pretty cool looking with its visuals, whether it be in 2D or 3D, as you go through the different environments. Now this is one of those games that actually gets a bump when it's played on Switch 2, reaching 60 FPS a lot more often than it ever did on Switch 1, with an improved resolution boost as well. It looks far better now. If you've been apprehensive about picking this up on the Switch 1 system, but you have a Switch 2 now, then it's worth checking out now, especially since it's on sale for its biggest discount yet of 67% off. It's just $9.99 until November 20th. Sifu is not just some simple beat 'em up. The combat in this game is insanely deep. You have access to over 150 different attacks, a lot of which can be chained together. You can also use the environment to aid you, and there's multiple ways to defend and evade attacks. Simply put, the combat in this game is really freaking good. Another thing that stands out in this game is what happens when you lose a life. When you lose a life, you get resurrected, but the character you play as will age by several years. When this happens, your attacks will become more powerful, but you will also have less health to work with. Eventually, you won't be able to resurrect any further, and it's game over. And along the way, you'll get a chance to unlock permanent upgrades and skills to use in future playthroughs, as well as unlock ways to open up secret areas and shortcuts to use as well. If you like beat 'em ups or combat heavy games, then this game has to be on your radar. It's on sale for its biggest discount yet of 75% off, which makes it $9.99 on the US eShop. Honestly, that's a damn good deal for this game. Rift of the NecroDancer is a spin-off in the NecroDancer series that combines elements from the main series with gameplay elements from the Rock Band or Guitar Hero series. And it actually works out pretty well. This is a lot of fun to play. There's 30 plus tracks to jam to, various minigames to play, as well as a remixed mode with daily challenges that changes up the beat maps of the songs. That adds a lot of replayability to the game. It's on sale for 33% off. It's $12.99 on the US eShop, which means it's the cheapest it's ever been on there. COCOON is a gem of a puzzle adventure game and the lead gameplay designer of games Inside and Limbo. In this game, you control an insect-like creature and guide them through different worlds found in these orbs that you collect. Each orb contains one of the game's worlds, and you can hop in and out of them. You can also use these orbs as abilities. This game is beautiful, it's well designed, and it's filled to the brim with many cleverly designed puzzles that are sure to please those who crave a game that will challenge your brain. It's currently on sale for $13.74 on the eShop, which at 45% off, that makes it the lowest price it's been on there yet. Haiku the Robot is this little Metroidvania that seems to be very good with some nice fluid combat and movement, with the ability for the player to roll, dodge, dash, and zip through the air. It's also seemed to receive some solid reviews. Now, I haven't personally played this one yet, but considering it's on sale for super cheap right now, and the reviews praise the game, for $3.99, I figured I would include it here in today's video, in case anyone might be interested in picking up what seems to be a solid Metroidvania at a very cheap price. At $3.99, it's the cheapest it's ever been on the eShop. Another good Metroidvania for the Switch is a game called Owlboy, which is notable for its unique gameplay. Instead of doing combat yourself, you'll need to rely on objects and other characters to solve puzzles and do combat for you. It's pretty good, it feels different from the many other Metroidvanias out there, and it's filled with lots of charm. This game has received some stellar reviews when it got released some years ago, and many consider this one to still be one of the better Metroidvanias out there. It's just $4.99 on the eShop. Pepper Grinder is a Metroidvania that's pretty unique. In this game, you need to use a drilling device in order to navigate the in-game world. You'll need to drill through various environments, as well as enemies, and solve puzzles along the way. It's almost like if someone took the elements of the GBA game, Drill Dozer, and expanded on that and put it in a Metroidvania. Like I said, this game is pretty unique. If you're tired of the same old Metroidvania stuff and you want something new in the genre, then this one might be worth checking out. It's on sale for $5.99 on the US eShop, the cheapest the game has ever been. Jack Move is a turn-based RPG that is inspired by many JRPGs of the past, like the Final Fantasy series and the Golden Sun series of games. It's a short but sweet adventure, roughly 9 to 12 hours long, that follows the story of a vigilante hacker named Noah, who is trying to find out what happened to her father, who has gone missing. In battle, you can customize Noah's cyber deck with software that allows you to change roles. It allows you to switch between offense, defense, healing, and buffs. Learning when to use proper software in battle with her cyber deck is going to be the key to success here, so expect a bit of strategy in the gameplay and managing all that. This game seems pretty fun, but what stands out to me with this one is the graphics. The pixel art style is very well animated, from the characters to the enemies and backgrounds. It's one pretty looking game. Hey, I'm a sucker for good visuals. Anyway, this game is super cheap to pick up right now. It's just $3.99 on the US eShop. Cat Quest 2 is a fun, family-friendly action RPG where you play as a cat and you go on a quest. I mean, it is in the title. As silly as it might sound, it's actually a pretty solid game that improves upon the first game's formula, with more to do and explore, as well as it expands on the abilities and spells available to the player. And this one includes local co-op multiplayer, making this one a nice couch co-op game. This is super cheap to pick up at 75% off. It's just $3.74 on the US eShop. SteamWorld Heist is a 2D, turn-based strategy game where you compete in shootouts against the enemy. You need to carefully aim your shot with over 100 different weapons at your disposal. You can perform trick shots and ricochet shots off the walls and such. It's pretty fun. As you play, you can upgrade and customize your robot crew, the various equipments and such. The Ultimate Edition comes with a nice-sized campaign to blast through, but it also has the Outsider DLC campaign that includes a bunch of new stuffs, like new weapons and upgrades to play with. It's on sale for $2.99 currently. It's really cheap to pick up from the sale. I highly recommend this one if you're into tactics games. In Donut County, you play as a whole driving raccoon named BK. Yes, a raccoon who operates a giant hole in this physics-based puzzle game. You'll need to use your hole, as funny as it sounds, to swallow up things, spit things out, and use the hole to combine things, and much more. Yeah, this game is bonkers, but it's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it for someone who wants a good game to take the mind off of things, and maybe laugh out loud a bit. Everyone needs a good, silly game. It's on sale for less than $4 on the eShop too. It's a really cheap pickup from the sale. Those in the mood for a cheap shoot-'em-up might want to pick up Crisis Ring, a game that plays in the same vein like many of the classic tower plan shooters like Truxton from years ago. It's very similar, right down to the bomb attacks that a player can use in this game. And the game is pretty good for what it is. It's a fun shooter, and for less than $3 via the sale, I think it's worth throwing a couple bucks at if you're looking for another shoot-'em-up for your Switch library. Square Enix has their Black Friday eShop sale going on right now apparently, with a whole catalog of games on sale. For brevity's sakes, I'm just going to quickly go over these and point out some highlights. I mean, for the most part, these games pretty much speak for themselves. There's the Octopath Traveler games, both 1 and 2, they're on sale for 60% off each. I can vouch for the second one, it is a really good JRPG for the Switch. Dragon Quest XI S, Echoes of the Elusive Age, is one of my personal favorite JRPGs of all time, and it just might be my favorite JRPG for the original Switch. This game is just a fantastic game from start to finish. It's 50% off via the eShop sale, which means it's just $20 on the US eShop. A heck of a deal for that game. Triangle Strategy is on sale for 60% off too. It's $23.99 on the US eShop. If you want a good strategy game for the Switch, this one is a safe bet. FANTASIAN Neo Dimension is on sale for a new lower price. It's $24.99 on the US eShop, 50% off the MSRP price. One thing to note is when this game is played on Switch 2, the loading times for this one are very much improved. I was able to test that in a video a while back. Actraiser Renaissance is a remake of the Super Nintendo game. Well, Square Enix says it's a remaster, but I don't think it's the accurate term here. I mean, it looks very much different from before. Anyway, regardless, it is on sale for its biggest discount yet. Via the latest eShop sale, it's 60% off, which means it's just $11.99 now. That's much better than the usual $30 MSRP price. Neo, The World Ends With You, is a great RPG that most people have slept on, and it's on sale for 60% off. Switch 2 owners, this game looks great on the system. It's 60 FPS, and it has faster loading. It gets a nice boost on that system there, for sure. And finally, The Last Remnant Remastered. Holy crap, they actually remembered this game, and it gets its first discount ever after 6 years of being on the eShop, and it's a pretty good one too. It's 60% off, which means it's just $7.99 on the US eShop until November 20th. For those with a Switch 2 system, this game gets boosted to 60 FPS from 30 FPS. Plus, it gets a resolution increase both in docked and portable play. Plus, the loading times are better for it on that system too. It's one of these games that basically get a free upgrade of sorts without the game technically needing anything else to download. That's actually pretty cool. And there you go, there's my top picks from the latest eShop sales. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these games from today's video. As well as make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you do not miss out on any future videos. There's going to be a lot of videos coming your way where I'm going to be covering some Black Friday sale stuff as well as game picks for the holidays. So expect more of that coming your way soon. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you real soon on the next video.